Welcome to episode 7 and the final episode in this series of the L-CAL0315 on the BNSF Fresno Modesto route. We're just leaving New West Milling after picking up those empty covered hoppers, and our next stop is several miles ahead, and it is Nutrien Ag, and we've got covered hoppers to pick up and drop off. If we take a look at the map here, you can see at the bottom where we're leaving from, and it looks like just past milepost 1092.1, we've got our Nutrien Ag Solutions there. And that's where we're heading to now. There's the Modesto and Empire traction again off to the left. I think those are the transload tracks right there. That's going to be interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to working back in there because there's so many industries. I think after I finish this local, the next time we come back to this area, I'm going to update to the depot's map, and then I'll work that Modesto and Empire traction area. we really got to start slowing down here because Nutrien AG is those grain terminals up on the left. And I'm going to want to stop just before this switch up ahead, and then we can unhook the coupler, the covered hoppers. Here's Nutrien AG right here, and we're picking those loaded covered hoppers up. And actually, I'm going to go a little bit past the switch because I've got quite a few here on the back, and I think, yeah, this is actually going to work out well because we can clear that crossing that we just passed, so we're not blocking the one behind us. I'm hoping, at least. Another 300 feet. That's why I started the counter back there. Oh yeah, all right, we're clear. So now we just got to stop before this one. So I think what I'm going to do is, these are all empty. And I'm going to bring those first. So let's put some handbrakes on these. I'm going to take these empties to switch out these, to pull these loaded ones out. Oh, shoot. We gotta back her up just a little bit. Alright, let's uncouple this. I think for now, I'll just actually pull these out without putting air in them. Then we can I'll pump them up later once we hook them back up to the rest of the train. I've been enjoying doing the F7 air brake cheat just to get things moving quicker. It's really nice because it does take a little while to pump up all of the air because these cars are going to be completely empty. You could see all the zeros there, and that takes a little while to fill up. Actually, I just had an idea, and I don't even know if I've ever tried this before. Once I get these hoppers that I just pulled out that are all empty with no air hooked up to the rest of our train, I'm gonna try something here, and I'll show you. We'll see if it works. I think it'll work. All right, let's take these back. All right, now check this out. So these are empty. And what I'm going to do is we got to have our air hoses hooked up. And I don't want to open the air yet. And actually, I'm going to do this. Let's do this. Train. I'm just going to put it to air hoses. So now, if I hit F7, all the air hoses are now connected. Because I don't want to have to walk through every car and just hook up air hoses. Now we can try my idea. So we got... I can open this one. And what I'm going to do is take the air from these cars, and it's already happening. And it's going to start spilling into these cars. These ones that were empty. That's awesome. See, that's what's really cool with Run 8. So I'll open this all the way. So now all the air that was in the brake pipe and the aux reservoirs, you can see up there, it applied the brake cylinders. Now it essentially dumped the air, but instead of dumping it to the atmosphere, it's dumping it into these cars. So what I'm hoping is it'll just kind of fill these up, so that way while I'm switching out these empties, putting these empties now back in to Nutrien Ag, these will be loading up. And maybe the whole thing is for nothing, because at the end of the day, you still have the same amount of air in those cars, and I still got to fill them up because it just moved. But I don't know. Would it save time because I'm getting the aux reservoirs filled up? Maybe, maybe not. I wonder if they do that in real life. Actually, while we're here too, I want to show you another quick tip. This switch right here, obviously if I click it from here, I can't activate it. But if I want to do it from here, all I have to do is just zoom in. And this probably is not enough, but if I do another zoom, now watch this. It lets you click it, and then I just zoom back out. So if you zoom in on any switch like that, it allows you to reach it and throw it from the air, even though you're not that close to it. boy, we're going a little fast. Slow her down. Now we got to remember to open this one up only partially right here. So watch that flow meter at the top, because before I do that, see, there's not a lot of air in these because they distributed across. These are the ones that were empty completely, and they did fill up. Let's look at that again. So we did get up to 31 and 34 on the aux reservoir and 47 in the brake pipe, but it looks like it's about equalized there. Let's see what they are way back here. Where are they at? So that still so it's not equalized yet. Or is it? 46 in the brake pipe, and what are we up here? 45. Yeah, so it has. And then these, oh wait. Yeah, 44. These are the ones that were totally empty. So the brake pipe's equalized, but the reservoirs are a little bit less, have a little bit less air on these cars that were completely empty. But now we're going to fill them up. Let me just make sure that these are open. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do a partial up here, and you're going to see that airflow go pretty high. So you wouldn't want to open this one all the way, because it would probably put it into oh, I just did by accident, and I just put it into emergency. I double clicked twice. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to click once, but I guess I got too excited there. But that's okay. All we got to do is just put this into the suppression area setting again for 60 seconds. And there we go. Now we can release it. You can see the flow is at max now because but look at that. All right, so that's another cool thing to notice. You see how the flow was at max, but then it really quickly came back to zero? Well, that tells you that you don't have the air flowing through the whole train right now, because obviously those cars were really low on air. And there's no way the flow would go from max all the way to zero in like 5 seconds. It's going to take a little while because it's got to fill all those cars up still. So if we go outside here, we'll see the brake pipes at zero. So that's an indicator. Watch that flow meter, and if you see it do that, like basically go to zero right away, something's not right. You probably have one of these angle cocks closed and air's not flowing through your train. So now let's do one click. Now watch at the top. See that flow going up? And let's hop back into the cab. Take a look. Look at that flow gauge now. And I don't want to open that angle cock all the way until the flow gets to about 60 psi. It starts slowing down. The reason that it goes into emergency like that when you open it all the way and let the air flow out fast is because since the cars were empty or closer to empty, so much air volume moved from the locomotives back to the cars so quickly, because I opened it all the way and not partially, that the engine thinks that just the hose got disconnected. And then it automatically triggers an emergency brake application. Because if you were driving the train and you had a coupler brake and one of the cars split and separated from the train and the air hose pulled apart, obviously the air would flow really fast and everything would go into emergency to stop it. So it's the same thing when you open the angle cock all the way on empty cars on an empty cut. It's basically like the car is split. Well, let's pump this up a little bit quicker. Pull off the handbrakes. So now we're at 65, so I'm going to hit Control 1 to jump back because I had saved my spot with Shift 1. So watch this. I'm right back to exactly where I was, and now I can open this all the way. And when I open it all the way, you see the flow jumped up a little bit at the top, but not enough to be an issue. And our flow's still up there, so we don't want to get going yet. Our brakes on all the freight cars are not fully ready yet. All those aux reservoirs are not full. Let's check the brake. Yeah, it's showing fully released, but you won't get a good application if you try to use the automatic brake on your freight car. Aux reservoirs are still low. All right, I think we're ready to go, and we only have to go maybe a half a mile, maybe 1 mile just into the yard, and I called ahead, and they got us lined onto track 8. And it looks like our flow is down to about 0, so I would say let's get going. Oh, also, I turned auto off, and I'm just going to give myself a signal here into the yard. We should just fit just fine on here. I checked the map and our train is definitely shorter than this track. All right, let's stop it right there. And let's see how we're looking on the front. Perfect. All right, so we don't need these anymore. So I'm going to set the handbrakes and turn the engines off. And then I want to go up in here and flip these circuit breakers off so that we don't have our beacon flashing. And that's it for this one. Now we're going to fire up these two over on the left. And we've got just, what do we got? 3 industries here. We've got these 3 cars for TWT, which is just over here. Right here. We just got to switch those 2 out. We got these 3 box cars we got to pick up. So now just to finish the few industries that are, there's 3 industries that are right next to the yard here. And I'm going to use these 2 for that. So let's get them fired up. Let's do autos. The auto circuit breakers. And we need to go straight. Let's do Silgan Containers first. So let's go this way. Then we're going to come over here. And we got to bring these 3 boxcars. We have to drop them off for SIC. And they're going all the way back in here. So what I need to do, I made a mistake on one of the earlier episodes, and I didn't drop the cars off against the warehouse doors. And that's where they got to be if they're so that they can unload them. So I got to pull those out first. And then once I've got the ones that are next to the doors pulled out, then I can put in the new ones in there, in that spot. And we don't actually have to fill these 3 up. These are also, yeah, they're empty too, so let's just take them forward. All right, let's pull these out. And we're going to temporarily put them right on this side track here just to get them out of the way. These loaded ones. All right, we can unhook these. just going to push it back just a tiny bit because I'm sure I had it stretched too much and I wouldn't be able to uncouple if I didn't. Now we can pull back out, and then we'll grab these loaded ones next to us right here, and I'll bring them back to the yard. And since there's only 3, we didn't need to use any air. It's not enough weight, and plus we're on flat ground, so I wasn't too worried about it. Now we got those right up against the loading dock doors. One of my excellent viewers pointed out that I had missed it on an earlier episode at Mackey & Sons. I just put them over on the far track, and the workers there, they can't get to it with the equipment on the loading dock. So I made sure this time that I dropped off at the loading dock. Otherwise, the manager there at that factory, Silgan Containers, that's where we just picked up, and Silgan Containers manager would have been upset. Let's see, I think I'll put these... I'm just going to drop them off right here. And I completely messed up. I didn't line the switch for this track, so that's okay. Maybe we'll change our plans here, because we got to back into there. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna switch my plan, because we would have had to run around these. I'm just gonna keep them. And we'll just keep them on here, and we'll go and switch out the other. I think it's called Thunderbolt Wood Treating. So we'll take care of that next. There's some center beams with lumber that we got to pick up. And I believe we got some empties we got to deliver. these are going to go over here. And I want to go right into... right down here, and I'm going to lock onto those, couple of those. Oh, actually, wait. Let me change my mind. Let's go straight. And then we'll go and grab these loaded ones, because these have to go back to the yard. And then we can drop them all off, and we'll then come back and push in these empty ones. And I think what I'll do is temporarily put them back here. Start slowing her down a little bit. That's a really good looking warehouse over there to the left with that kind of lighter blue, bluish gray stripe on it. And in the loading docks, I hope they add some of those to down like in the Cajon Pass and stuff, where there's some of the much older warehouses, because that looks really good. Look at that with the doorway in there to get inside. That's awesome. And it's even like does the parking lot dip a little bit for the loading docks? It looks like it. All right, let's take these out of here. And I'm just going to shove these back just to get them out of the way temporarily. And you know what, too? I think after I do this, I'm going to maybe switch the direction of our lead unit. I forgot what's actually over here. Is this track? I think that's the... Is that the one that we take to Riverbank Oil Transfer? I gotta check the map. Oh, let's get these things slowing down here. We can stop in here. We got a little bit more weight. But it's no problem for just the independent brake to handle. Let's bunch them up a little bit. now we just got to run around to the other side of those center beams there, and then I got to pull them forward, and then I can push them back into Thunderbolt Wood Treating Company. Take these forwards. Then we can switch tracks and then push them back in. And let's get this switch lined up. Well, that's interesting. I had the dynamics on, and I did an automatic reduction, but I forgot that I don't even have air in these cars. But it applied the brakes on the locomotive. But usually if you're in dynamic, then it has an automatic like cutout, so it doesn't apply the independent brake when you do an automatic application. It doesn't apply the brake cylinders on the locomotives. But that time it did. I think I'll just use some hand brakes to slow this down. And that'll do it. So now I need to grab all these cars that I just set aside temporarily. We got to pick these back up and bring them back into the yard. I just got to go check this warehouse out real quick. Wow, maybe this isn't a new one. It's definitely not high res, but from a distance it looks awesome. That's actually what makes Run 8 cool, is as far as the graphics, it's kind of like a really good painting, where up close it can look like a little bit, the brush strokes aren't, you know, perfectly crisp like a photo, but when you look from a distance, then it looks great. Or like when you're on the ground and you're like down at this view looking at stuff, then it looks really good. So once I clear this switch, I can slow these down, and I'll just put them over on the, what track number is this? Let me check the map. Track 12. This is track 12 we're going to drop them on. We just got to run back and grab those oil tankers for Riverbank Oil Transfer. And that's just around the field. I think we go through past some houses. think I'm actually gonna isolate this one because we got a little too much power here. Let's get these hooked up. I think I'm just going to go with the F7. And we got to pull these over to Riverbank Oil Transfer. Wait, I want that one still. We want this one. OEOT, that's fine. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second. I need to switch because I isolated this one, but this is our lead. That's not what I meant to do. Let's actually put this back to run. Well, let's see, what's our HPT? 2.8. Let's put this to isolate. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, now we can go forwards. This is pretty cool because you're going right through these walls, right through these neighborhoods. Oh, BNSF. Oh, wow. He thought he could make it between the cars. We gotta slow down because we gotta figure out where we're going here. So we gotta go straight through here, and then we're picking up this cut. All these empties we're picking up. So actually what I'm gonna do is push into these first. Let's make sure we're looking good here. Yep. Oh, and then that one's good. I'm going to try slowing this down one more notch. Let's unisolate that one too, because we're going to need some power coming up here. Once we have to start pushing those other tankers, we're going to need all the power we can get. Oh, wow. Not doing a good job of lining up the switches. And that ends the episode. Just got fired. Did we push this into the bumper? Oh, we didn't. Wow, that's terrible. That explains it. We don't have any air in here. Oh, shoot. That's what the problem is. I was going to say, it didn't seem like we were really stopping. On the last episode, I put this just to air hoses only. So when I just did it 10 minutes ago, all it did was the air hoses. And we didn't have any brakes. Unbelievable. So I got that wrong, and I had the switch in the wrong spot as well. Now let's get these filled up. Okay, now let's do it the right way. And we're going to go left here, and we're going to push into those tankers. Make sure if you do the F7 air brake cheat for everything, make sure you do a bail off, because it always seems to put a few PSI in the brake cylinders on the locomotives every time you do the F7. So I like to bail off, clear that out of there. My goodness. We were not slowing down at all. Okay, let's push these forward. So basically these loads here that we're bringing in, we're going to drop them right where these ones that we're pushing off were. And then we're just going to drive forwards back to the Riverbank yard. think that should be good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Well, at least we did something right here. Put some handbrakes on and we can drop these off. And then we'll just push forward a little bit more and run back through. Are we clear over here yet? Oh gosh, we're really clear. Well, that was pretty easy, aside from slamming into that MP15 and going the wrong way. So now we just got to head back to the yard. I probably should have switched that lead unit to the orange BNSF, but not a big deal. We're just going back into the yard. Looks like some new home construction going up there. They got the wood already. They're going to start digging the foundation. You know what? Let's leave it how it was there. We'll just go a little bit further. I think, are we? Oh yeah, we're in all the way. I think we'll leave these here for now, and then we'll have the yard master move them wherever he wants to the main yard later on. So I think I'll just uncouple. And that's going to do it for the L-CAL0315 here on the new Fresno Modesto route for Run 8. That was fun. It took a lot longer than I was expecting, but we did it. So that's it for episode 7 and for this series of the L-CAL0315. Thanks for watching.